This is ABC 7 News at 6.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us. I'm Beth Jones.
And I'm Peter Dubois. First tonight, one person has been apprehended after a threat yesterday forced Mount Desert Island High School into lockdown.
The school was closed today following a long and stressful day Tuesday for students, staff, and parents. The school went into lockdown around 12:30 and stayed that way for hours. Authorities say the threat received was serious, and police worked with the school administration to manage the situation.
It was really scary, just to hear that there was a threat outside the school and being in lockdown for 3 or more hours. The teachers weren't telling us anything. We were getting updates from other students online. We were trying to show the teacher as much as we could because they were obviously trying to figure everything out. And it was really stressful for everyone. And
yeah, we're just glad everybody's safe and can go home tonight, you know. Obviously, it's pretty real. Yeah.
A letter sent out to parents says police thoroughly swept the school. Each student and staff member was checked before boarding a bus to be taken to Mount Desert Elementary, and a long line of parents informed as they waited to show identification and pick up their children. There's no word yet on the exact nature or content of the threat. And even though there were no classes today, students were able to return to campus between 12 and 2 to retrieve their belongings and vehicles. Counselors were also on hand at the school for anyone who needed to talk about the situation.
A man accused of crashing his truck into a house in Old Town and leaving the scene has been indicted by the Penobscot County Grand Jury. According to police, 57-year-old Roger Eldridge of Greenbush crashed his pickup into an Old Town police speed radar trailer and then a house before running into the woods in August. No one in the house was hurt. Eldridge was indicted on several charges, including driving to endanger, aggravated criminal mischief, and leaving the scene of an accident.
The grand jury also indicted 37-year-old Colby Gilgan of Glenburn for arson. According to the Penobscot County District Attorney's Office, Gilgan allegedly set his Pushaw Road home on fire in July. He told investigators he left a candle burning and woke up to a curtain on fire, which spread to the rest of the room. His father contacted the fire marshal's office and shared text messages that allegedly said Gilgan intended to set fire to his house.
And a Brewer man who's accused of leading police on a high-speed chase before crashing his truck into a garage was also indicted. 19-year-old Kay Preston was indicted on numerous charges, including eluding an officer, reckless conduct with a dangerous weapon, driving to endanger, and operating after suspension. Police say troopers called off the chase from Herman to Bangor because of safety reasons. They found his truck crashed into a garage on Randolph Street in Bangor.
Well, the Maine Supreme Judicial Court heard oral arguments asking for the resentencing of a convicted murderer from last year. Devin Dagnall has the details.
After nearly a year from his retrial and conviction, the Maine Supreme Court heard oral arguments for the reason Marcus Asante should be given a different sentence. Asante was convicted for the murder and robbery of Douglas Morin Jr. He was sentenced to 55 years in prison. During his trial and retrial, Asante claimed that he shot Morin in self-defense after their drug deal went bad. It was ruled that the killing was not in self-defense because Asante also stole drugs from Morin. Rory McNamara, Asante's lawyer, believes that Asante was wrongfully convicted of the robbery because he had no intention of stealing the drugs until after the murder occurred, and that the two crimes were not related.
A Bradley jury instruction was given, which informed jurors that if there was a robbery at any time, there could be no self-defense. That means jurors were allowed to convict for murder even if the death was not intentional or knowing.
Donald W. McComber, the representative for the state of Maine, argues that the resentencing is not needed because there is nothing wrong with the current one.
There's nothing unconstitutional about the sentence that Marcus Asante received here. He was convicted of intentional and knowing a murder.
In his rebuttal, McNamara stated that the case should not be decided solely on the crime itself, but the situation surrounding it as well. We are currently awaiting the court's decision. In Bangor, I'm Devin Dagnall, reporting for ABC 7 and Fox 22.
A judge sentenced the Skowhegan man for scamming the Paycheck Protection Program. Nathan Reardon pleaded guilty to 5 counts of bank fraud in July as part of a plea agreement that dismissed several other charges against him. Reardon submitted fraudulent applications for PPP loans and direct loans from the Small Business Administration. He also provided false information on those applications. Reardon was sentenced to 20 months behind bars with 3 years of supervised release. He was also ordered to pay back the loan he received, which amounted to nearly $60,000.
Well, Senator Susan Collins announced today that $42.5 million in LIHEAP funding is coming for Maine. Collins says this is much-needed funding to help combat the rising costs of home heating oil for low-income families. The funding comes after a bipartisan push from Senator Collins and Senator Jack Reed from Rhode Island to award the state through the Department of Health and Human Services to the Low-Income Home Energy Assistance Program. Last year, more than 30,000 Maine households benefited from LIHEAP.
Former governor and current candidate Paula Page was at Dysart's in Herman today, along with District 2 candidate Bruce Poliquin, talking about what they call an impending heating oil crisis this winter. LePage says the state is facing a crisis in terms of heating oil and diesel, and that President Biden needs to release millions of gallons of heating oil so that Mainers will have what they need to heat their homes. LePage pointed out that 60% of Maine homes are heated with oil and said lives could be on the line come winter.
We're very fortunate right now. We're very, very fortunate because the weather's held out. But it's just a matter of time. We need to have heating. And to say that it's not a crisis, that there's no sign of a crisis, you're delusional. You are delusional if you don't think this is a crisis. We're hearing it from everyone.
He also strongly advocated for repealing LD 99, which is a bill that requires the state to divest itself of assets invested in the fossil fuel industry over time.
Well, Senate Democrat Joe Perry responded to LePage's remarks, agreeing that the state is in crisis when it comes to how Mainers will heat their homes this winter. He says he's heard that President Biden will be releasing more oil from the strategic reserve, which should help. He says all options should be on the table and that they don't have to wait for the new legislative session to get going.
There's things we can do in December, we ought to do it. The economy is still really strong. Revenue is coming in strong. That gives us a lot of options to tackle this problem and help Mainers. The $850 checks went a long ways to help people. Maybe that's the next step, doing that again. We need to just make sure people can afford to keep warm this winter.
And he is right about they are right about the weather. We have certainly been granted kind of an easy card, an easy button, if you will, for the weather thus far. It's
been really comfortable. Another day like today, it's just been fantastic. Warming up into the afternoon and just feeling really great out there to go out and do whatever you need to do.
And hopefully buying some folks some time who are stressed about the heating oil situation as well.
Absolutely.
Well, let's turn things over and take a first look at our forecast and see what's coming our way.
Thank you so much and happy Wednesday. Our first weather is brought to you by Scott's Recreation. Locations in Turner, Manchester, Herman, and Oronoa, Maine. All right, so another mild start to the morning today. Temperatures in those upper 40s in Bangor, even a couple of lower 50s by Rockland. Look at that morning low of 51 degrees. Up north, of course, some 30s and 40s. But hey, we're enjoying these mild temperatures the next several days. Our high temperature earlier, 62 degrees, 63 in Bar Harbor. Same thing in Rockland. So we were all enjoying those 60s outside with lots of sunshine, barely any cloud cover all throughout the state. So really nice weather outside. Besides a bit of a wind, we do have some breezy conditions as the winds are blowing mostly from the northeast at around 13 miles an hour here in Bangor, 14 in Waterville, and a little bit lighter closer to the coast. Later on today, though, we'll have weather that's going to continue to cool off, and temperatures will be dropping into those mid-30s.
All right, not looking too bad overnight then either.
Indeed.
And still to come on ABC 7 News at 6, we'll tell you how a family in Levant is making a difference in their community.
And the Eastern Area Agency on Aging is asking the community for help with its annual Meals on Wheels holiday gift program. We'll have those stories and much more as ABC 7 News at 6 continues.
In Maine, our independence, hard work, and freedoms mean everything, but not to Paul LePage. He's repeatedly attacked women's reproductive freedom. LePage supported letting states ban abortion with no exceptions for rape or incest, defunded family planning programs, and told extremists we shouldn't have abortion. He's a risk to our health and freedom, and it's why we can't go back to Paul LePage. The top funder of Better Maine is the Democratic Governors Association.
I've got plans. We've all got them. But Bruce Poliquin's plans would put Social Security benefits at risk. He planned to raise the retirement age and cap retirees' cost of living increases. He even opposed allowing Medicare to negotiate cheaper drug prices. But Jared Golden didn't just plan. He passed legislation to cap seniors' drug costs and let Medicare negotiate drug prices. Jared Golden is the man with the right plan.
DCCC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
After 9/11, Jared Golden joined the Marines and served the country he loves. When he returned, he ran for office to serve the state he calls home. He passed legislation to cap the cost of insulin for seniors and lower drug prices for people across Maine. But Bruce Poliquin, he went from Wall Street to Washington to serve himself, taking thousands from drug companies and voting against capping costs. Jared Golden, from here, for us. Moderate PAC is responsible for the content of this ad.
I'm a Republican.
I'm a Republican.
I was a Republican state senator, and I voted for Paul LePage, but I won't again.
Never again.
Tantrums,
distractions,
fighting.
It's just bad behavior that costs Maine.
Janet Mills, she brings people together.
She doesn't care whose idea it is.
As long as it's good for Maine.
She balanced budgets without raising taxes.
We're Mainers.
Not complainers.
And that's why I'm voting for Janet Mills.
She fights problems, not people.
And that's our kind of governor.
Jared Golden and the Democrats by the numbers. The worst inflation in 40 years. Home heating, groceries, gasoline, all through the roof. 87,000 new IRS agents. $20 billion in new taxes on the middle class. All because 83% of the time, Jared Golden votes with Biden and Pelosi. On November 8, stop the Democrats' war on the middle class. Defeat Jared Golden. The NRCC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
You're watching ABC 7 Bangor.
Welcome back. A family in Levant is making a difference in their community one stitch at a time. Matthew Jurancic explains.
It's almost cathartic. It's doing one little thing, the only thing that you can do, but it probably helps them feel better as well as helping the family.
What started off as Tracy Seymour sewing protective face masks and scrub caps for nurses during the pandemic has now grown to include embroidering t-shirts and hats as a way to rally support for a family in the Levant community after a fire destroyed their home.
We've always had that strong need to help people. So whenever something like this strikes a community, it really strikes home.
Partnering with her husband, Jason, they got the operation up and running in just 24 hours.
I just wanted to do something for the family. I just wanted to do something to show that we are all in this together, because it could have been us.
The family is currently embroidering t-shirts that say Levant Strong, as well as ball caps that say Community Strong.
I was thinking Levant Strong, but Maine is a community in and of itself. And I wanted something that, say, somebody from Bangor or somebody from Portland could buy and be like, we're supporting this family.
The Seymours say that while the fundraising is important, they're also just trying to let the family that they are not alone.
I mean, it's not the fact that we're selling hats or that we're selling T-shirts, because that's in the grand scheme of things, that's minor. It's the fact that the community is coming together as a whole to help, but it's nice to know that we come together in times like this.
And if you're interested in buying apparel, you can actually buy one of these t-shirts for $13, and $9 of the dollars will actually go back to the family. Or you could buy one of these hats for $20, and more than half will go back to the family. Reporting for Levant, Matthew Jurancic, ABC 7 and Fox 22.
Well, those interested in purchasing apparel can reach out to Seymour Embroidery on Facebook or check out the company's website at SeymourEmbroidery.com. Well, the Eastern Area Agency on Aging is asking the community to assist in its annual Meals on Wheels holiday gift program. Through the holiday season, members of the organization assist in packing and transporting meals for older adults to make sure they feel loved and appreciated. Members pack nutritious meals, of course, keeping in mind their proper dietary restrictions. This Meals on Wheels program serves more than 700 older adults in the Hancock, Penobscot, Piscataquis, and Washington counties. However, seeing an increase in the demand for services, the Durgan Center is reaching out to the community, asking for donations whenever possible.
We need our community to come around and help us. We do have increase in prices, and it takes an additional $5 for us beyond our normal meals to provide these holiday meals to all those that we serve. And it takes the community to come around us and to help us do that.
Well, anyone interested in helping can go to www.eaaa.org to donate, or you can become a volunteer and help pack the meals yourself at the Durgan Center. And still to come on ABC 7 News at 6, Husson University boosted the hiring efforts of 70 employers during a job fair today.
And in sports, another year of Maine field hockey hosting the America East playoffs. How far will they go in 2022? We'll have that story right after the break.
Jared Golden and the Democrats by the numbers. The worst inflation in 40 years. Home heating, groceries, gasoline, all through the roof. 87,000 new IRS agents. $20 billion in new taxes on the middle class. All because 83% of the time, Jared Golden votes with Biden and Pelosi. On November 8, stop the Democrats' war on the middle class. Defeat Jared Golden. The NRCC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Do you have leaky pipes? Are you planning a plumbing job? Is your heating system working right? Are you designing a plumbing project? Then contact Harley's Plumbing and Heating Plus.
If your toilet will not flush, Harley will be there in a rush. Furnace bit the dust today. Harley crew is on the way. Harley Plumbing, Harley Heating. 990-2200.
Call now.
Harley!
Call or visit online.
Wings for Children and Families is hiring youth and child case managers across central and northern Maine for all 6 of our locations. Wings offers a highly supportive work environment where caring and compassionate individuals can make a difference in the lives of children with special needs. Call today, visit our website, or connect with us on Facebook to learn how you can make a referral for services or join our team, where we are highly committed to bringing hope to those we serve. Wings, ranked one of the best places to work in Maine for the last 5 years in a row.
I am so fearful this winter for oil prices.
We can't go on like this.
Jared Golden's votes are definitely making inflation worse.
Jared Golden is not independent.
Golden and Biden are lockstep.
I'm a Marine Corps veteran, and I cannot support Jared Golden.
We need to make a change. Maine needs Bruce Poliquin.
Bruce Poliquin is concerned with Maine people of all walks of life.
I know Bruce Poliquin cares for Maine, and I know he'll fight for us.
I'm Bruce Poliquin, and I approve this message.
Jared Golden took money from an anti-lobstering group.
You know, the other day we're hauling and everybody was saying, so why did Jared Golden take this money?
Because he's a politician, and that's what politicians do.
He's funded by the very people that could put an end to our entire industry.
Shutting the lobster industry down would be devastating for the people of Maine.
If you cared about Maine and you were for the fishermen, you would have immediately give that money back. It was literally like a big kick in the nuts.
Congressional Leadership Fund is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Tonight's Sports is brought to you by Herman Motor Company. Whether you're looking for a new vehicle or to have your current vehicle serviced or detailed, Herman Motor Company has it all.
Welcome back in, everyone. Thank you for staying with us. The America East Field Hockey Tournament begins on Thursday. But Maine, being the top seed, will have to wait until Friday to begin their run at their second straight NCAA tournament.
Well, we got a little bit of a taste of what it's like to be in the NCAA, and we loved it.
Maine field hockey is just 2 wins away from repeating as America East champs right here in Orland.
I can't put it into words. It's so fun to be here. We love playing in front of our fans, and just being at home, being in Orono, it's a great atmosphere. We just love it.
Every pass on the field, every touch is just everyone's watching and they're rooting for you at every single point, so everything's really exciting.
The Black Bears have won 12 of their final 13 games, finishing with a perfect record in conference and their second straight regular season championship.
It's just been so meaningful, too, just to see the success in the conference. And, the regular season championship, I know it doesn't give you the berth into the NCAA tournament, but to have the success in conference, for me, means a lot.
Now, they could make their second straight NCAA tournament and their second in program history. For Coach Babineau, watching her team morph into a winning program over the years has been, well, something special.
It's just been so special for me to I guess, have the idea that we could, the dream, the thought that we could get this done as a program and to keep working at it from year to year. It's obviously something that we all do and we all strive for.
Maine will play the winner of Stanford and the University of Vermont in the semifinals on Friday. And a win there books them a trip to the America East Championship game on Sunday. But they know it's not going to be a walk in the park.
We definitely want to go back. Obviously, we're taking everything game by game. We know nothing is going to be easy, but we're hungry. We want to get back there.
All right, the Black Bears also headlined the America East Awards, too. Lambert and Walton were Defensive and Offensive Players of the Year, respectively, as well as First Team All-Conference. Mallory McKeesey was named to the All-Rookie Team. Coaching Staff of the Year, Maine, and then Sydney Meter and Mia Borley made the All-Conference Second Team. Let's go to some soccer now. Class B North Finals at Cameron Stadium all night. We'll check out the afternoon game. Top-seeded and unbeaten John Baptist taking on the 2-seed Winslow. Early in the first half is where we will pick things up. Kyle Sidaway on the cross. That ball is going to find Jack Mason, who fires, and he scores the game's first goal just under 4 minutes in. And the Crusaders are pumped. They have the 1-0 lead. Second half now. Mason, again, he's going to get it into the box this time. There's a loose ball right in front of the net, but Winslow's Jason Reynolds keeps the Raiders in it, keeps the score at 1-0. It's the second half here, about 8 minutes to go. Garrett Fletcher for John Baptist. He's going to do it himself. A burst of speed past the defense, and he's going to find the corner of the net, and that would do it. The Crusaders are headed to Saturday's state championship game. They'll play Yarmouth, the winner from Class B South, at Hampton Academy again on Saturday. Big congrats to the Crusaders, avenging last year's regional finals loss. That is all the time we have for sports, though. Here is Conrad Sapinski with your full 5-day forecast. Conrad?
All right, our main weather today is brought to you by Diversified Ink Tattoo Studios in Penobscot Plaza in Bangor, providing custom ink by licensed artists for over 20 years. So another beautiful day outside, good amount of sunshine. Temperatures continue to rise well above our average for this time of year. We're not the only ones that are in the clear. Pretty much most of the United States has really nice and clear weather, besides a little pocket of rain showers just to the west of D.C. But overall, not looking too bad. Our muggy meter is on the lower end today, but then it will start to rise Friday into Saturday, and then over the weekend, we'll feel a little bit more sticky and muggy outside. So enjoy these next couple of days before more iffy weather starts to return. But like I said, most of the United States is in the clear. Lots of sunshine, but that is a good thing, but also a bad thing. Most of us are under a drought. Locations in the red and those darker red colors, those are pretty significant droughts. I know the Mississippi River is at a record low, so we need some more rain. But no rain, but temperatures are warm. At least we have those 70s across the country, even all the way up to Canada. Look at International Falls, coming in with a 70-degree reading. For this time of year, should be snowing, so we are at a whole 180 for weather right now. Same thing in Maine. 62 in Bangor earlier today, 63 in Bar Harbor, same thing in Rockland. So we are all pretty much lingering in those low to mid 60s. That's well above our average, close to 10 to 15 degrees above our average that we're supposed to have for this time of year. Closer to 51, that's what we should be at. But look at the weekend. 70s will be returning. They're going to be sticking around for quite some time until Tuesday when a cold front starts to move in, and then we finally start to cool off. Still above average, but into those low to mid 50s. We do have some breezy conditions outside right now, like I mentioned, but winds will start to calm down overnight tonight, and then for tomorrow, same thing into Friday. Winds will be a much lighter with those temperatures still up there. Temperatures tonight, though, will be cooler, hovering close to the freezing mark under a mostly clear sky. Calm winds, that means fog will be an issue once again. So leave a little bit extra early for your morning commute tomorrow before some sunshine returns and temperatures really start to rise. We'll have a high temperature around 60 degrees. Winds, not big of an issue as we have a southwest wind at around 10 miles per hour, and our extended forecast outlook does show lots of sunshine throughout the week and even into next week. Temperatures warming up into those 70s.
And how weird is that?
70s what?
Yeah, not just once, but 3 times
Yeah.
in the next 5 days in the 70 degrees area. That's just weird for me, but hey, well, I guess we'll take it.
I have to temporarily lay off my fleece.
Yeah, exactly.
Not okay. All right, well, there's still more to come after the break. Stay with us.
Janet Mills? 4 years ago, we filmed an ad here supporting her. But Janet has been a disaster for the state of Maine. She's driving up inflation, and her decisions have permanently harmed small businesses and our economy.
And she's bad for seniors and Maine families. Mills raised our electric bill, and she's pushing up home heating costs.
We need Paul LePage now.
We've got to vote for Paul LePage.
Janet Mills is crushing Maine families. Under her watch, Mainers will face rolling blackouts this winter, putting our most vulnerable, like seniors, at risk. And because of Mills and Joe Biden's failed agenda, Mainers will pay 72% more for home heating oil and $60 more each month for groceries. Mainers can't afford more of the failed Mills agenda. Vote no on Janet Mills. The top funder of Maine Families First is Thomas Klingenstein.
I'm Phil Levesque, president of Levesque Business Solutions. We're a family-owned Maine business since 1963.
We're your one-stop shop for great office products at affordable rates. From copiers to office furniture to PPE, we've got it all warehoused right here in Bangor. We're your local small Maine business with a dedicated staff providing honest and friendly customer service, top-of-the-line tech support, and the option of in-house leasing.
Let us help you get back to business.
Senator Joe Baldacci, hardworking, independent, and effective. Joe has always been a champion for Maine seniors. Joe Baldacci sponsored and passed the legislation that generated more than $90 million to nursing homes in Bangor and across the state that have been hit hard by the pandemic. Joe Baldacci delivered on funding to protect health care and important services for thousands of Maine seniors. Joe Baldacci, hardworking, independent, and effective, delivering results for Bangor and Herman.
However you spend your day, spend it in style. At Label Shopper, you'll find designer brands for 30 to 70% less than department stores. With prices this low, you can grab all your favorite styles.
Label Shopper, great clothes, great prices.
If you were hurt because of exposure to the toxic water at Camp Lejeune, Congress has made it possible for you to recover a settlement. Former Marine attorney James Beardsley wants to help you.
Call now to see if you qualify. Call 222-2222.
Welcome back, everyone. Well, Husson University boosted the hiring efforts of 70 employers today during a job fair at Newman Gymnasium. That fair highlighted a diverse variety of careers for various organizations, ranging in fields from healthcare to business and many others. Director of Career Services James Westhoff says he appreciates what the fair can do for students.
This has been a great fair for students to network and learn about opportunities and meet people to learn more about what they can do with their particular majors.
You can visit Husson's website to learn more about job opportunities there, and just a really good opportunity for students to get out and explore career paths that maybe they wouldn't have even thought about in the past.
I think that's the great thing about job fairs is that you've got so many employers there ready to talk about, their particular profession.
Right.
And, when you're young, especially if you haven't known what you wanted to do since you were 5, that can be a little daunting. So actually getting to have those conversations is probably really reassuring, especially for students who maybe aren't quite sure what path they want to go down and they just want to know what possibilities are out there.
Yeah, and it's a good chance to maybe even make a connection in that field too. And even if it's something that maybe they return to later, they've had that conversation with someone who's there. Right. Maybe they remember your face. And so it's just a good opportunity to get yourself out there and network a bit.
And build a little confidence talking to employers as well.
Exactly.
Interview skills, very important.
Very, very important.
All righty, folks. Well, that is going to do it for us from everyone here at ABC 7 News. Take care and have a great rest of your night.
Good night, everyone.